Okay, let's stand up. Thank everyone for being here. It's a dear old friend of mine. We go way back, unfortunately, too far back. And it's an honor to be here. So, try to be careful. You don't want anyone to get injured. So let's start Marote. And just stretch. Marote. And sit up. Once you feel warmed up, you can go ahead and nage. Because we're crowded, be careful, mindful of people around you. One thing about in practice, as I've gotten older, I've noticed the important parts are like right up to the place where you're going to throw. So I get here, now obviously I can throw it. But, I can scratch or I can just down. Okay. The important part is the kuzushi, the balance. If you don't break the balance, you get here and then try to throw hard. It doesn't do any good. When I was younger, you want to get to the throw. You don't worry about the stuff in between. You want to get your because that felt good. Now that I'm older, you don't do that as much. You think here, and then here. Right? So be careful. Let's do that for 1 second. Tall. So when I do Aikido, I have to make big movements. Because if I go like this, I end up like that, right? Oh. And notice a pattern among those of you that are taller. You're kind of used to doing like this. Use your height. Because when you stretch them out, you're breaking, kuzushi, you're breaking their balance. Right? It's up to them to keep their balance. Plus you're helping your uke. You're training them. If you do it small, and I'm uke, I just have to go like this, and then take my ukemi. If you come up here, now my balance is gone, and if I try to maintain my balance and then I take ukemi, now I'm actually reacting to getting thrown. Here, I'm controlling it. I'm going, okay, now I'm going to take back ukemi. Here, it's like here, I get thrown, now I have to take ukemi. That's why when you see ukes and demos, it looks like they're going big movement. It's not because you're doing that on purpose. Their balance is upset up here. When it finally gets broken, then you go over. Okay, so this time, here, here. Tarigori, 2 people. So same principle, here, right? Here. I'm going to go in a straight line across here. Now you have to use your hip. If I pull, these natural reflexes like to react. You extend, kokyu, you move your hip, you move it up, down. Okay. Just like when you do any technique, you don't tighten. You're not like this. You kokyu, just like kokudo-san. So it's like here, or here. You have to break their balance. Now I'm going to pass right in front of him. Kokyu here, and I let my hip do step through. up. Here, not like this, like Funekoki. Come on. In demos, like with toy sensei, Azuki, I hated to be the one when he would move in that direction. Because I knew when he got here, I was going to run straight in there. So actually concentrate way up to that point. And then, you know, again, it's crowded. So you can hold it, or you can throw. I mean, it feels good to slam someone down, but, you know, you have to be aware. That's one thing about working in a crowded dojo. It's important. You develop your sense as a Aikidoist of where everyone is. So like in a demo, say 4 of us are attacking, like dosho or something, you were aware when you were getting thrown how close people were to you. So you didn't just come down top. Okay, let's try that. Kuzushi, taking his balance is important, right? So if I cut this short here to come like this, person moving back, they have their balance. I have to bring my arm here. And now I have both their balances. And then I can throw. Especially when they're, you know, obviously they're taller than I am to be able to do that. Next one is a little bit different. This one is linear, at least when you qualify. That's the way Sensei taught it, is in a linear fashion. So that's the only thing I can speak to in terms of doing it. Doesn't mean the way someone else does it is wrong. This time, now I'm going to move, again, koki, just like you're doing koki dosa, right? So here, I come here, break his balance here. This one, take a time, koki dosa, down. Here, and now I'm going to draw again, up. So when you do like koki dosa, right, you're sitting there, 1, 2, and the reason why we sit, so like, you know, you can't try to muscle, you have to extend. Same here. Now I'm going to move my hip, koki here. I have to get him this way, bent. If I just come up like this, he's still the same, he's still up and down. Breaking balance means connection between the upper and lower body. This one, he's still upright. Koki dosa. Here. Take up. Step through. And again, not to the front here. The side. Now you just open out. Now when you grab a rotate, you don't grab like this. Originally it was like sword. If I had a sword, if you grab like this, like in front, cut. So it's off to the side. That's for his protection. So like for me to kick him now, it's hard. You know, if you were more in front, it's easier. Hami is like half. He's only presenting half his body. So again, Cut. Here. Through. Up. And right. So if you get to the part where you have to go from balance, that's good. Means you can throw. Again, when I was younger, there was one to throw. Because that was like the big throw. Think of it, tough people. Think about it like when you get here, someone's going to take your picture. You don't want to be like this. You want to be small man. So you want to be like that. Just like, plus it helps, big movements help you train. Because if I make a mistake on a big movement, if I come here, and now I lose it, now it's easy to reverse. Here, I have to keep the extension in the big movement. You can almost go from big to small if you can, but it's really hard if you train small to make a big movement. If you watch the whole Sama Hayato, he has big movement. I think he's even a little bit shorter than me. But he takes really tall guys and he breaks their balance. Because his movements are like big. His father was like that. Chisako. He would make even in his 80s, 70s, and 80s, he was making really big movements. So you want to kind of shoot for that. And then you can adjust it down if you, but it's really hard to go the other way. You know, it's like if you were used to walking like this, and now all of a sudden you gotta go. Okay, so let's try that. Just as a group, or make sure you throw the same way. Here you're gonna just, again, hope you go some. Up. You have to get used to like Kokyu. And then it's just hip. And this turns. Here. And then your hip. And again, if you look at this, like if you're like this now, try to throw. So here. You always have to take balance. Now his upper body, lower body are disconnected. You do this, Ikyo, here, even now you whatever. Come here, it's like that. Right? So, take a move. Okay, so make sure you throw them one direction. Kind of show you what Toei Sensei was like. I used to drive him all the time. When I started when I was 20, I was a college student, so I'd go to the evening classes, and I would pick him up and then drive him to the dojo and stuff. And, you know, he would sit there smoking. Well, back then it was people smoked all the time. Anyway, and then he, like one time he said to me after a test, because he never talked about it. He never talked about tests before or after. He said, one thing you can do, he was talking in Japanese, and he would say, at the end, after you do your technique, if you held Zanshi at the end, he said, then that would be really good. And then he stopped for a while, took a few more puffs, said, but don't tell any of the students that I told you this. He didn't want it like to look like he was being favorable. And I always thought, well, that was a little strange because they usually saw him like yelling at me in Japanese. It's like, you know, I thought this could kind of balance it out. He didn't want, you know, he just went. So the rides were very interesting because he would just sit there in silence for a long time and then say something, and that was it. You know, it wasn't like a back and forth. So anyway, thank you for allowing me to be with you guys today. Appreciate it.